What is up, low stress, high profit gym owners? Super excited for this weekly live because we are going to be talking about why you should be playing offense right now, and then what you should do to play offense. So what I mean by playing offense is not sitting down and really not having an aggressive plan of attack on how you're going to grow your gym, but more so just not trying to lose members. Okay, so I know it's a lot easier said than done to have an aggressive plan of attack to grow your business during the time of a pandemic, during the holidays, and I can understand why you would think it's not such a big deal. We'll get it going again, come 2021 or January. The thing is that, first of all, we don't know how long the pandemic is going to last for, right? And secondly, it is the exact same reasoning you would tell your clients to not take a break on their nutrition, on their fitness plan, on any of that during the holidays, right? Because you are going to lose momentum, because you are going to be starting off at a place that is already farther away from your goals than you'd like to be right now. It's for those exact same reasons that you, as the business owner, want to play offense right now as well. We don't know how long this is going to last for, and you don't want to lose the momentum. Okay, so there's a couple more reasons on why you want to play offense right now. Number one, your competition might be playing offense. And what I mean by offense is aggressively trying to grow their business or gain more clients, right? And if your competition is gaining clients, gaining customers in your local area, you are losing market share, right? And I know it's not a ton, okay, but it depends on how many gyms are in your local area. It's not an infinite amount of numbers, right? So let's say there are 50,000 people in your 7-mile radius, men or women, that are looking to get in shape. Now, let's just be clear. There's 50,000 people in your demographic. They may not all be looking to get in shape. Let's say 25% of them are, right? So you have about 12,500 people that could potentially want to do your program. You have to battle for these eyeballs. Who is going to sign these people up? And let's say there's 10 competitors. Maybe there's a big Anytime Fitness or a 24, which not anymore, there's no more 24s, or there are nutritional programs, whatever it may be. If you are doing so the pie is only so big, right? And if you are doing nothing while these other people are signing up people in your community to get in better shape, to lose weight, they are eating more of that pie, right? And it's only so big. So you don't want that to happen to your business, because it's really hard to steal them back. Once somebody gets started, they don't like change, right? They don't want to stop what they're doing, especially if it's working, to then look at a different option. So now might be one of the best times to play offense, because nobody else in your area might be, right? So all the people that are interested in getting in shape, whatever you promote, weight loss transformations, healthy nutrition, online training, brick and mortar training. Most of us are brick and mortar coaching, one-on-one, whatever you promote to get in, to help people achieve their goals. If you are the one that is screaming the loudest, you are going to get the most attention, meaning you can have an opportunity to steal your market share while the other guys are playing defense, right? So that's one of the biggest reasons on why you want to play offense right now, is the opportunity cost, right? To not lose customers, not just not gain them, but not lose them. That's the second thing, is you're going to lose members, okay? They are going to quit or put a hold on. You can't just expect to not lose any members at all whatsoever. So let's say you lose 5 to 10 members per month during these weird, not even during these weird COVID times or during holidays. Let's just say on average, you're going to lose 5 to 10 per month, right? You are going to be losing momentum as a company. Now, what I mean by losing momentum might be some of the intangibles, right? Some of the things that aren't necessarily, you can't quantify them with numbers, but when you start losing momentum, your culture changes, right? There's less fresh faces. There's less new people that are just learning how to do things, which means less energy and excitement. You guys know what it's like to have a lot of new people at your gym, it's super exciting. People are declaring their goals. People are talking about how amazing it is to finally eat clean again, or you're sharing recipes and someone's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I never tried that before. It's so good. Or, hey, so-and-so is such a great trainer. When in reality, everybody's a great trainer, but they've never been exposed to anything like that before. Having new members at your gym is really good for the culture. That's the first thing. Second thing is your team. Okay. Your team, they get stimulated and engaged and creative and all of these things when they're training new people for the first time, right? It's a new puzzle to crack. It's a new person to try to figure out how they can push the right buttons to get that person in shape, or to get them to take action, or which workouts work with it. It's fun. It's fun having new blood, and your trainers really enjoy, your coaches really enjoy, or you as a business owner really enjoy that new customer having their first 2 weeks worth of workouts and seeing these big victories on the scale and all of these things. You don't want to lose that momentum, right? It's not tangible. You might not see that in the 5 losses that you have per month. But if you don't replace those people with 5 new people, that's when the momentum starts to drain at your company. And it's really hard to get it back, right? Because a lot of you guys have probably, if I'm guessing, have grown. Let's say you're 5 years in the making, and you started off with 20 clients and now you're at 120 clients, right? You've steadily grown. This might be the first time you're ever going down, okay? And it's a new feeling for you, and it really sucks. That's exactly what's happening, is you're losing momentum as a company, as a team, as a culture, right? And you're blaming it on COVID, and you're blaming it on the holidays or whatever it may be. And you might absolutely be right. The thing is, business doesn't care. It doesn't care if there's these obstacles in your way, because somebody is going to find a way to service these people. They're not going anywhere. People still need to get in shape. People still have big issues with their confidence and their self-image and all of these things. They still want to conquer those goals and to hit their ideal body weight or body fat, or how they look, or dress size, or whatever it may be. But we want you to be the one to get them there, because you found solutions to their problems, right? And so that's going to be the second thing, is you don't want to lose momentum at your business, whether it's your team, your culture, or just the business in general. Finally, your fixed expenses are not going to change. Your variable expense, and we did a whole video on this before, but rent, for the most part, utilities, insurance that you have to pay, credit card processing, that's a little bit of a variable that kind of changes as your revenue changes. Same thing with payroll. But there's a lot of fixed expenses at your business that are not going to change regardless of your revenue that you're bringing in. Software is a big one, right? They're all going to remain the same. They don't care how much revenue you're bringing in. So if your revenue starts to drop, which it will if you're playing defense, right? Defense is simply do not lose any members and try to convince them all to stay with me, but you don't really have a plan of action to gain new ones. You're just hoping that referrals come in, or you're hoping that somebody, you're not aggressively saying, this is what I'm going to do, and I expect to gain this amount of members by doing this thing. You don't have that plan of action. You are playing defense, just hoping it blows over quickly. And I think we're all hoping for that. Or hoping that someone refers somebody else because they like your new program or whatever it may be. We're all hoping that. But there's a difference between that hope and playing defense, and aggressively playing offense and saying, look, I have these 5 strategies, and when I execute them, I expect to get 15 new members per month, and I know I'll lose about 7. So I'm gaining momentum. I'm gaining more people than I'm losing. So that's what our goal is, and that's what it's like to play offense. Okay, so the final reason why you want to play offense is because your expenses are not going to go anywhere, and cash flow is king when it comes to small business. We can't afford to take on debt right now, or ever, as a small business. Bigger businesses can play that game. They can take on debt with projected cash flow in the future. We can't do that, right? You have to have the cash flow to fuel your business's growth or new endeavors like marketing strategies or whatever it may be. So you can't afford to go in the red and lose your cash flow because it's going to be really hard to make up. We don't have the same options that bigger businesses have. Okay, so those are the 3 reasons why, and I'll recap them. Your competition is most likely playing offense, and you don't want to lose market share. You're going to lose members, and you don't want to lose the momentum as a business, both through your culture and your team. And number three is your fixed expenses are not going to go anywhere. So you don't want to start losing your cash flow. You need money to survive and to grow. If a business is not growing, it's most likely dying. If you stay stagnant exactly where you're at, you are still dying because those around you are growing. And as they grow, they take up pieces of the pie, which means there's less for you. So even if your revenue stays exactly the same, your members stay the same, everything stays the same. If anybody around you is growing, you're shrinking. It's how business works, right? And we don't want that to happen to you guys, okay? So here are the 5 things that I would do to play offense. These are the most important things you can do when playing offense in general, but especially right now. Let me see if I have a good marker. That's not bad. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk to you about is build your following and your group, your free Facebook group. Okay, so like the group that I'm in right now, speaking to you guys, you have an opportunity. If you don't have one of these groups, you need to get one. And how you exactly do it, that's part of what we teach in the Perfect Gym model. But more so is you want to start, you can really nurture that following of people. So when it's time to reopen your gym, when it's time to push, the gas down, you have a lot of eyeballs that know, like, and trust you. You've built a lot of rapport with them. You've built up goodwill. You've given them a lot without asking for anything in exchange. So when it comes time, they're ready to say yes to you. So that's number 1. Is build and grow your free Facebook group. Okay, build and grow your free Facebook group. So that involves organically growing it and paid marketing to get people from your local community into that group, and you tell them what you do. You show them testimonials. You give them social proof. You explain to them how to read nutrition labels. You talk with them about the best functional exercises to make their everyday life easier, like getting up off the couch or going up a flight of stairs. You talk with them about having the right mindset and motivation to hold themselves accountable. You give them all of these amazing tips. And one day, hopefully in the very near future, you're going to ask them, hey, do you guys really want to do this? Do you want to get in shape? Are you done talking about it? Are you done, you can phrase it in a lot of different ways, but it's a call to action, right? And you're going to say to them, like, look, who's ready? Raise your hand. And depending on how well you did this, depends on how many people raise their hand, because you can help them. You are a transformation expert, or your gym is very good at what you do. You can help them. And hopefully during the past, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, you've shown them through doing this first method that you're the real deal. This is how you separate yourselves from the pack, right? Is no one else is doing this in your area, nobody, right? And so you have the ability, because when it clicks in their head, they're going to come straight to you. All right, so that's the first thing I wanted to talk about, is building your goodwill in your free Facebook group. Number 2, running ads on Facebook for your new program that addresses COVID and the holidays. So let's write that down. Obviously, this is probably the easiest one for people to justify in their head. They say, look, if I am playing offense, I'm running ads. Now, I'm going to have 5 things that I would do to play offense, and running ads is only one of them. Okay. Just so you know. So number 2 would be running Facebook ads. Okay. That marker is not quite as good. We're not going to use that one. So running Facebook ads. Okay. So you can run ads a few different ways. Number 1 is running conversion ads. So you tell them what your offer is, and I would highly recommend you have an offer of some kind. And in the copy, that's when you want to explain why right now is a good time for them to get in shape. So you can talk about, hey, look, COVID, as an example, was supposed to only be 2 weeks. And then it was 2 months. And then it was all of 2020, right? And we don't know how long it's going to be before it's over. So if you have put on 20 pounds during COVID, or if you are in worse shape and your goal was to get in better shape, do you want to continue going down that route, not knowing when it's going to end. We don't know when it's going to be over. Or do you want to take action right now with a program that is specifically designed to help you during these times, right? The choice is yours. And so just as an example of ad copy that addresses that the elephant in the room. Well, how can I get in shape when there's COVID? And you should be doing something as a gym. If you don't have any idea of what to do, to service your customers, during COVID, get a mentor like FitBiz. There's a few of them, but get a mentor that teaches you what you should do during COVID to grow your business and to help people during these weird times. Second, you can address holidays. So in your ad copy, you would say, look, I know that Thanksgiving and Christmas is coming up, but let's break this down real quick. Thanksgiving is one meal for most people. And Christmas is, let's just say Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, 2 bad meals. Okay, then we have New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, 5 bad meals. Okay, so far we're at 5 bad meals. Now let's just throw in parties. Okay, we're gonna go to 5 more parties. Most people are not going to do that, but let's just say you go to 5 more parties. Now you're at 10. Right? And I think that's very conservative. You're at 10 bad parties, okay? That's 10 bad meals throughout the holidays. So everybody says the holidays. What is the holidays? It's 10 bad meals, okay? Well, how many meals do we actually have? Let's do some math here, okay? So let's just say it's 60 days. We have all of, or half of November, right? We have all of December and then half of January. So we're looking at 60 days. And let's say we have 3 meals a day. Okay. That's 180 meals. Okay. That's 180 meals you're going to have. And you're not going to get in shape right now because of 10 of them. That's insane. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's just 60 days. You can even break it down to 30 days. You divide that by 2 and it's 90. Look, you're going to have 90 meals, 90 over the next 30 days. And you're going to push off having the body, having the mindset, the confidence, the ability, the healthy lifestyle that you want over 10 of those meals. That's crazy, right? So if your ad copy can address those things, then you have a really powerful campaign that you can run on Facebook, and you can run those campaigns to get somebody to schedule an appointment directly with you, right? Or you can run ads to get them into your free group, right? And then you can explain these things in person. Like I'm explaining to you, you can explain that same thing to them. Like, look, who has a plan of action for the holidays? Because when you really break it down, it's only about 5 to 10 bad meals, right? But there's a whole bunch of days from now until everybody makes their New Year's resolution. Let's get an early jump, right? So that's the second thing I would do, is running Facebook ads, because with that messaging, with them scheduling appointments, you will give yourself opportunities of people saying, yes, I'd like to do your program, or yes, what you're saying sounds perfect. Let's set up an appointment so we can talk a little bit more about that. You have that appointment, you close them, and they become members of yours right now, not 30 to 60 days from now, okay? So that's the second one. The third one, I would say, is getting referrals, okay? Referrals via events or challenges, okay? So let's write that down. Number 3 is referrals. And this is through events and challenges. Now, that would be for your members, okay? So you are gonna run a challenge or an event, whatever, for your members. As an example, at my gym, we are going to be running in December the Toys for Tots member event. And so, and this is everybody that works with FitBiz is going to be running these events. In fact, the last one we did was Beast Before the Feast. Okay, so that is everybody. It's a 21-day challenge for members and their friends. Okay, it's to get in as best shape as they can before Thanksgiving. So a lot of them are wrapping it up this week or next week. They're Beast Before the Feast. And guys, this challenge generated thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for our FitBiz customers. And it brought in a ton of referrals, right? Because their +1 can do it for free, right? Or split the cost depending on how much you want to charge. But they all stay on as members because they loved the experience. And all you had to do as a business is put it on for them because they can't go very many other places or do a lot of other things, right? So you just have to orchestrate it and let them use your place, and you do a really cool programming and all of this stuff, but that is just for your members and their friends and family. Same thing with events. So if you do an event and you call it like Toys for Tots, and members and their +1 can come to your big boot camp bash, and all they have to do is donate a toy to get access to it. You have a big stack of people that you can call that next Monday and ask how they like their experience, their workout, if they like to come in a little bit and talk a little bit more about their specific goals. This is something very easy to do. We have it all mapped out for our FitBiz customers. And even if you're not working with us, this is still something that you can figure out and you should be doing to play offense, right? And it's a super fun event. But it's going to bring in cash. It's going to bring in great goodwill for your community because you donate all these toys to a local charity, and then it's going to bring in a lot of referrals. And these referrals, they can stay longer. They can, what we're doing is we have a Santa set up, and they can take pictures with the Santa with a backdrop or whatever. We're doing that because all of the Santas in our area they're closed. You can't go to the malls and take your Santa pictures, but you can at our gym. Do you know how many people that's going to attract when we put that on social media? Hey, you want a free workout and take a picture with Santa? All you have to do is bring a toy in. And by the way, we're going to donate that toy for kids that don't have toys. Do you know what that can do to your business and your community right now? And it doesn't cost you anything. It costs you nothing, right? You just have to put on the event, right? You should be doing that right now. Right? Even if you're closed, even if your business is closed due to COVID, half of these strategies are still going to apply. You're still able to help people get into the best shape of their life. If they can't physically work out with you at the gym, there's a lot of other things that you can do. So that's why it's important to play offense. Next, but after your events and members challenges, I'd recommend selling to your existing members. So you have a membership base right now. Let's write that down. 4. Selling to existing members. Okay, why do you want to do this? Because you will make more money. You can sell 2 different things. Number 1, you can sell prepaid long-term programs, which is what I'd recommend. Paid in fulls, transformation programs that are specific to a certain goal. So as an example, Susie has been paying $49 a week at your gym. And they've just been coming for a year now, but don't really have any specific goals. If you want to get a prepaid from Susie, you need to tell her why, right? And so one thing you can say is like, look, we've noticed that some of our members aren't, hitting the specific goals that they originally intended on hitting when they first came here to sign up. And we want to do something about that. I want to sit down with each person, identify what their long-term goal is, and create a plan of action for them to hit that long-term goal. That meeting is completely free. Who wants to come to it, right? And you blast that out to your members, and it's a goal setting session. But if they really want to commit to that goal, they should prepay for it. You'll give them a little bit of a discount, 10, 15, 20% discount, right? You can even do it for Black Friday if you wanted to. But it commits them to that goal. Okay, so we're going to hit this goal. It's going to take us 6 months to reach it. Let's make this thing official. One thing I wanted to let you know is you can prepay for your 6 months. That way you don't have that weekly fee that you've been paying, but it really holds us to this goal. Does that sound fair enough? Right? And you as a coach, and you help them. But what you are doing is your clients are financing you through this really tough time, right? Because they're giving you a loan, right, through their membership that you will have to pay back through your expenses to your coaches or whoever, but it's interest free. You don't have to pay on top of that, right? And so it's client financing, and you are exchanging your, it's not necessarily interest free. Let's say you give a discount, and technically that would be like interest. But the point I'm trying to make here is if you need cash flow right now, that's the best way to do it, is to get it from your clients. And you can't just ask them for it. You have to give them a reason that makes sense as to why they would prepay for their program. So that's one way you can do it. The other way is you can upgrade them. Right. So not just a prepaid program, but you could upgrade them to a higher level of service. OK, by running a promotion, whatever it may be, but say, hey, we have this amazing new transformation program. I know some of you are doing large group only, but for an additional $14, $15 a week, right, you can join our transformation program that comes with a private coaching session or a private goal setting session every week, or nutrition session, or whatever it may be. You can upsell your members. That is playing offense, right? Because you're increasing your recurring revenue, right? Which is the same thing as acquiring a new customer. So if you have 50 members and 25 of them add $10 a week, that's $250 per week, which is $1,000 per month of new revenue on a recurring basis. That's the same thing as acquiring that many people worth of new clients, except there's no cost to acquire them. It's free to acquire them. You already have them as customers. You're upgrading them. You're upselling them. So you should be doing that right now. You should be upselling your existing membership base on prepaid programs if you need the cash flow. Not to mention, it's not just about cash flow, but it guarantees the lifetime value of the customer. Okay, so if you have somebody that's been paying you for 4 months on a weekly basis, but you can get them to commit to a 9-month program, you are guaranteeing that 9-month lifetime value plus the 4 is 13-month lifetime value of that customer. Now, in all likelihood, they're going to stay longer than that, but that guarantee is great because when somebody prepays for their program, very rarely do they churn out before the end date of that program, right? And so that's a great reason why you should do that. The last thing that I'll talk about is investing, okay? Number 5 is investing in the infrastructure of your business and of your team and you as a leader. Okay, so that would be making your service and your team better. Okay, during this time, you want to, if you're not as busy as you normally are, you want to come back with a huge bang. So now is a time to invest in your business, your company, and your team by acquiring knowledge, whether it's working with the mentor, taking a course, studying, going to nights, whatever it may be, reading more. However you want to look at it, you can level yourself up seriously with the additional bandwidth that you have right now. And that is absolutely playing offense, because when you come in with an amazing plan of action, now most times it's going to take 30, 60, 90 days to be able to develop a game plan, to roll it out to your team and get them ready to execute, right? You can't just do it overnight. But so now would be the time, if you are planning on having a big first quarter of 2021, like January, February-ish, now would be the time to make that investment into that knowledge and roll it out to your team. And that is absolutely playing offense, getting the game plan, watching the game tape, and figuring everything else out. So I'll put that in. And these are all in no particular order. It depends on where you're at as a business in knowledge. Mentor and program, okay? So FitBiz has a very solid program, as you guys know. It's called the Perfect Gym Model, but we're not the only program out there. It depends on what your business needs. You should be in multiple groups. And if what I'm saying resonates with you, now would be an amazing time to take action on that. If you're in another group and what they're saying resonates with you, now would be an amazing time to take action on their program. It doesn't matter the program. It depends on what's best for your business. You guys know what's best for your business. And if there's people that are telling you to, like, there's multiple good programs out there, right? It just depends on how you, what resonates with you and what you can wrap your head around and what model makes the most sense for you and your business, right? And then do that one, right? I have a great program. There's a lot of other great programs out there that can all help you grow your business and be successful, but find the one that really speaks to you And now would be a good time to do that because it allows you to do the rest of these things and play offense while the other competitors in your area are not doing those things. And what do you think will happen? You are going to gain momentum. That's how so many of our gym owners in our program are growing during the pandemic, is because they're doing these things when their competition is not doing them. And it creates this big gap, so it'd be different if one of them staying stagnant and retaining their members and getting just enough members to continue keeping that same base. And then you have somebody growing, right? But what if somebody's growing and somebody's declining? They're losing more members every single month and they're gaining. This gap between you and that gym down the road, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And soon you're not going to be able to compete with them and the eyeballs that they can afford to spend on new customer acquisition. Right. And so that's why I think now is the time to do it. But that's just my opinion. There might be alternate opinions out there on what other people think, but it's what I'm seeing in the marketplace. And this is all I do. So anyways, I don't want to get too long-winded. I hope that this helped you guys a little bit on why you should be playing offense right now and not playing defense. And then if you are to play offense, the things I would do, right? The 5 things that I would do in no particular order, but I would do these things right now, especially in the next 30, 60, 90 days, because this is the time that you have to build your game plan before in generally what our industry would be a New Year's rush. We don't know if it's going to be just as much of a rush as it has been the past years. It is a little bit crazy with the pandemic and COVID, but I would anticipate that, yes, there will still be a lot of people that make New Year's resolutions to get into the best shape of their life. And you want to be on the receiving end of that, right? You want to be prepared and ready for that to happen. It's just a big time in our industry. And as somebody that is wholeheartedly trying to help the businesses in our industry, I want to just give that advice before we dig into it. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. I will see you again next week on Monday with the next live topic. If you enjoyed this, drop a comment, give it a share, give it a like. And then below, if you've been watching this live, please type in live so I know how many people are watching it live, or replay if you are going to watch this on replay or you're watching it on replay, so I can see how many people are attending it that way. So anyways, appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you next week.